the search phrase "give car back" is hitting record numbers now.
So I'm sitting here reading the comments, and a lot of y'all are wondering how I got my car repoed and why I owed $11,000 on my car.
The U.S. auto loans delinquent by 90 days or more has reached a level beyond COVID level.
Okay, so today we're going to be taking a look at the car market, but more specifically, the repossession crisis. We're starting to see stats come out that delinquencies are as high as we've seen for quite a long time, and that's really no surprise to me. With the high car payments, the high MSRP, high insurance rates, more and more people can't afford the cars that they're driving around right now. We have a lot to go over today, along with comments from you guys from previous videos, so if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below, but let's just jump right into it.
The U.S. auto loans delinquent by 90 days or more has reached a level beyond COVID level, right? As June 30th, 2025, we have almost a 5% delinquency level that is 90 days or more. Let's look at a 5-year chart. We're reaching pretty much what we had during COVID. Now, a lot of this was subsidized money. There was a lot of deferments, a lot of aid from the government to help people during COVID times. But now people are starting to see things are getting more expensive and people are unfortunately can't catch up and can't catch a breath. There's even an article that was posted that Americans are behind on car payments at a record level. As you can see, most of the auto loan delinquencies come from subprime borrowers. If you're subprime, that means you've had some prior issues with your credit. Right now, 6.6% of subprime auto borrowers were at least 60 days past due on their loans in January 2025. This is the highest level since the agency began collecting data.
Taking out 84-month loans might not have been the best idea. I mean, along with the talks of the 15-year car loan, I would be surprised if some of the modern day cars even last 15 years with how terrible the quality is. But we're now seeing record high levels since they started collecting this data. And I know a lot of the examples that we see online are really expensive luxury SUVs or pickup trucks, all getting repossessed because, surprise, surprise, most people can't afford a 6-figure vehicle, but that doesn't mean that economy brands aren't racking up on the repo lots as well.
Toyota's repos don't stop. They're a printing money machine. They're I'll repossess your car before you know it machine. Look at the Toyota repo field. Everything is a Toyota repo. Let's go take a look at what kind of cars and trucks have been repossessed. This is where dealers get their good deals. We come here and we buy repos. And it's bittersweet, right? You're coming up off somebody else's downfall. But that's what keeps us in business. We buy it at a fair price. We sell it at a fair price.
I don't know if they sell it at a fair price, but these are Toyotas. They aren't Lexuses or Mercedes-Benz. I do know overall Toyotas have gone up in price pretty significantly over the past few years because they're supposed to be known for their reliability, while many other manufacturers are just bringing out terrible vehicles. But there are many other examples similar to this. We've seen this one up on screen recently that was legitimately a sea of vehicles that were all repossessions. Any make and model you could think of, they were just constantly being auctioned off for dealers to buy. The guy in the video also said that they go through 1,000 cars a day on the lot that he was filming. So imagine what that's looking like all across the country. We have a comment from one of you guys. Decades ago, I worked as a mechanic at a nice used car place. Tax return time was crazy. One day we sold the lot out and the local police pulled in to ask if we were robbed. We had sold around 30 cars that day. Because if you've seen a lot of dealers talk about tax return time, there are many people out there that will get their returns, maybe a few $1,000s, and immediately put a down payment on a brand new vehicle. And as the months go by, the repo market starts to boom. So many people end up falling behind, not legitimately being able to afford it in the first place, and this cycle continues almost every year. Now, with the past few clips talking about the dealer auctions, so many people ask if there's any way for you to specifically buy a car off of one of these auction sites. Unfortunately, that's not the case. You need a dealer's license, but something that I've started to see pop up online has to be some sort of scam. There's a lot of clips like this, asking price $10,000 and the down payment is only $1,200 for a brand new Dodge Durango. This isn't the only page that I've seen do this. It's just called Bank Repo Car Sales, and it's video after video of these brand new vehicles with just ridiculously cheap prices. Unfortunately, that means they get a lot of engagement in the comment section. Where are you located? I'm interested. How do I get more info? Location? I don't know what these pages are really trying to pull, because if anybody actually shows up to these locations, of course these cars are going to be way more expensive than they're advertising. My guess is that their asking price is actually the down payment, and then their down payment that they're advertising is probably the monthly car payment. I don't know. I'm not really sure, because here's another one of a G-Wagon. Asking price $12,000 with a down payment payment of $700, a G-Wagon's MSRP is what, $160,000 or $180,000? Even if you got this from a car auction because of a bank repo, this car is worth so much more than this, it's ridiculous. So something shady has to be going on with these accounts. I just wanted to let you guys know, but we'll move on to some more examples.
When's the last time you had a car? Do you want a car?
Yes, obviously I want a car. Last time I had a car was about a year ago. I couldn't make the payments.
You got repoed.
Yeah, it was like $615.
This is why I went down this conversational train.
Okay, well.
Oh, for sake. I knew.
I was
the fact that you didn't have a car, I knew there had to be a reason. Listen, in Austin, everyone has a car. Oh, for sake, what happened?
I know a lot of people that don't have cars.
I know one person, but okay, different lives. That's fine. Okay, it got repoed a year ago. Well, you're 3 years into your better paying job. What the happened? Because this is all.
Well, I mean, that fucks the credit score and makes it really hard to get approved for another car.
But what happened with this repo?
I couldn't make the payments. What do you think happens with the repo?
I'm asking why, because you were still making about $4,000 a month.
Because I was also trying to pay off other debt.
And there you go. She was making some money, $4,000 a month, but not surprising, being on the financial audit, she had a lot of other debt accumulated, so much so that she couldn't afford, I think she said $650 or maybe $615 car payment, and she ended up getting repoed, unfortunately. Another comment from you guys, it's crazy people not understanding they can't maintain an $800 a month car payment for 72 months. People buy way more car than they could afford. And when you start seeing videos like this, the Google searches do not lie.
Oh no, I feel we're heading into dangerous territory. The search phrase, give car back, is hitting record numbers now. I mean, look at it from 2020 to 2025. It is at an all-time high. The search term, give car back, on Google Trends. It's dangerous out there, boys. The economy's not looking good.
So if you do find yourself in this situation, it seems like some just wait it out, play the cat and mouse game, see how long they'll keep their vehicle until it ends up getting repossessed. And honestly, that is not the best move. We have some advice here with this clip.
In a recession, whether we like it or not, car repossessions is at an all-time high. 7.5 million to be exact that have been assigned to agencies. I'm gonna share with y'all some information that y'all might not know about that may help y'all during these times. You have a vehicle and it's facing repossession, do not hide the vehicle. Do not avoid the bank. Banks are in the money business. They're not in the car business. So the last thing they want to do is repossess your car. So what you need to do is call the bank, figure out a payment plan, figure out something that if you can skip a couple months. They want to work with you. They don't want to have to repossess your car and then have to take it and go auction it off and get what little money they're going to get from it. So please don't be scared. I know it's a scary time for y'all, but call them, figure out things first. Figure out if you can make a plan or if they can skip a couple months for you or if they can break the payments in half.
One thing that I do want to add with the banks, they will eventually repo the car and then it'll be auctioned off, but the difference in price from what they sell it at the auction to how much you owe overall on the vehicle, you'll still be on the hook for. It's not like you'll just take the credit hit and they'll take the vehicle, especially if you bought something brand new in the past few years. Depreciation is very swift now. Many people are underwater in their vehicles, so it's worth less than what they owe. So you'll still be getting calls from the bank owing whatever the difference was. And especially with seeing some of the clips like this online, there is a lot of misinformation about this topic.
If they can't find your car in 180 days, which is 6 months, all right, they're going to have to charge it off. They're going to stop trying to repo the car, and now they're going to mark the account as charged off.
No, they will not. I work in repossessions. They get their stuff. Nope, they will call the police and report it as theft. I was in the repossession business for over 20 years. This is completely false. Former repo man, 100% untrue. There are over 5,000 comments on this video, and basically all of them say the same thing. So don't just think if you could hide the car in the garage for 6 months that you'll just be in the clear, you'll be able to keep it scot-free. They're still going to find you because these repo companies are starting to get some crazy technology.
The repo reapers are evolving. If you don't remember the last time you paid your car payment, watch out. Alright, so maybe you couldn't tell by the first picture, but this right here is a license plate scanner. And as you guys can see, this is on a regular Toyota Corolla. Alright, so the way these little cameras work is the person that's driving this car, these cameras are looking for license plates in this person designated area. So they get an area they're supposed to drive in. As this person drives around, these cameras are scanning. And no, they're not fixed at any position. They're 360 cameras. So they can look forward, back, side to side, any direction they need to look, they can do so. Alright, so once those little scanners read a license plate that goes back to a car that's currently on the repo status, one or two things is going to happen. First, it's going to alert the driver. They're going to get out and verify the VIN and make sure it's the car they're looking for. Or two, it's just going to send it back to the tow company, and then they're going to do the rest, and then the car's going to be gone. All right, so everybody know how fast those repo reapers are when they want you. If they want you, they're going to get you. And some people have gotten away, but it's not very common, so it's probably just going to be either just pay your bills.
So you might not even know that somebody's looking for the vehicle. Of course, if you have one of the big F-350s with the tow on the back driving through the neighborhoods, it's pretty obvious they're looking for repo vehicles. But if they have scanners on the back of an old Corolla or a Ford Fusion, you might have no idea it's coming. Because like the last clip said, these repo drivers do not mess around. Within a minute, you could go from having it sitting in the parking lot or your driveway to just being completely gone. You have to be glued to your vehicle 24/7 just to make sure it's not taken away. It's really not a game that I would want to be playing at all, but we have another comment from one of you guys. You know it's getting real bad when even the cheaper cars are getting repoed. Car insurance and costs are getting insane. That's what I talked about earlier in the video. It's not really surprising when people buy a wildly overpriced Range Rover or GLS, 7 Series BMW to flex on others, and then they can't afford the absurd payments, the crazy maintenance that comes with it, the insurance, everything else. But repo lots are starting to get filled up with Honda Civics and Toyota Corollas. No flashy, crazy cars, just everyday commuters. So to me, it's not really surprising when we start seeing news headlines like this.
You know, some of these numbers are pretty staggering, showing Americans are carrying more debt than ever before. A new report from the New York Fed says total household debt reached a record $18.6 trillion from July through September. And here's how that all breaks down. The biggest chunk of debt, $13 trillion, comes from mortgages, which is not surprising given how expensive it is to buy a home. Auto loans and student loans are next at about $1.7 trillion. Then you got credit card debt at $1.2 trillion. All of those are record highs. And when you look at credit cards, part of what's going on is that more people are using cards instead of cash to make purchases. Overall, consumer spending is up. That's good for the economy. What's not so good is that people are paying higher prices and higher interest rates, and lower income households and younger Americans under the age of 39 are simply falling behind on their payments. The typical borrower carries a balance of about $6,500 on their card. Today's average interest rate of 20%, if you only make minimum payments, you'll end up owing more than $10,000 in interest on that debt over 25 years. So you can see how quickly this snowballs, guys.
So imagine taking that figure with the bad interest rate of 20%, because we still see that on car deals now. And instead of $6,500, it's $65,000. The amount of money you'd have to pay overall just for that car cannot be worth it.
If you've ever wondered why we're on track to hit 1 million repos by the end of 2025, the reason is simple. Nobody has any cash. Nobody has any money. I just sold a truck that I had fixed up over the past year, gotten it roadworthy. I just sold it this last weekend. It took me about a month to sell. 2 years ago, you would have been able to sell your truck within an hour, because the truck market was so hot. But now nobody has any liquidity. Nobody has any money to spare. I was so surprised how long it took me to sell this vehicle, and I ended up having to lower the price multiple times.
Okay, so there are a few things that can be happening with this situation. Maybe he's right. Many people right now just don't have the extra cash to pay for even a used truck, an older model. But with how crazy the market is for pickups overall, I mean, some of the prices, if you look up on Facebook Marketplace, even normal dealerships, the value of these trucks are absurd. So there is a good chance that he just had the vehicle wildly overpriced, and it took several price cuts for somebody to finally bite. But we'll move on to another comment from you guys. The repo man came for mine many years ago. I knew it was coming and I did not fight it. I went out to the carport, removed all my stuff, the tags, etc. The repo man came early morning. I was without a vehicle for months. Lesson learned. All dealerships will sell you a vehicle no matter your financial situation. That statement is very true. Some people will immediately go to blaming the dealerships, the car salesman, which on one hand I do understand. They know that you're getting a terrible deal, but their commission check is going to be pretty good. But at the end of the day, you have to have the knowledge of if you're getting a good deal or not, whether you could afford it genuinely or not. And if you can't, you just have to walk away and say no. Many people don't do that. They get it in their head that they're going to get something brand new. It's going to look super nice. Their ego takes over and they start getting into the debt cycle.
This is how I know the automotive market is in a really bad place. Now, if you watch my videos, you know about the abandoned vehicle problem, which most of them are Nissans. And here lies another beautiful Pathfinder that's stuck here because it's got a bad CVT transmission and nobody wants to pay to fix it. But what you may not know about is auto loan delinquencies. And here lies an auto loan delinquency because they bought a piece of junk. This is a Chevy Cruze and it's stuck here because it's got a transmission problem that costs thousands of dollars to fix. And the major thing wrong with this car is the customer owes $1,900 on it still. And it being a 10-year-old vehicle that's not worth much in the first place, it's not really worth the repair plus the $1,900 still owed on it. And because of that, I don't really blame them for leaving it here. So here it'll sit right out front until the bank finally decides to sign the title over to me. Because we know they ain't gonna fix that piece of crap either.
Yet another example of one of the normal economy cars being repoed. It is an unfortunate situation, and I think in the end the car's just going to get scrapped, so hopefully my other videos help you search for a good, reliable car that won't end up breaking down and cost you the value of the entire car just to repair it, because then you'd be stuck in a very similar situation.
Your car is 100 days delinquent. So your car's repoed right now!
Yeah, and I can't afford to get out of the repo, because it was, I think June was the 4th month plus.
Is it the payment that is due here to get it back?
Or
have they come to some kind of agreement?
There was some. I wasn't even there for the phone call. My mom called them and they told her.
Because you're not an adult.
Yeah.
Apparently. Well, you can't be on the phone call for your own.
I didn't
You have to let your mom take care of everything?
I didn't even know she called them yet, honestly. Honestly, when we got the car, I thought it was going to be like A-okay. And my mom was like, just give me like $100 every month and like that'll be like your payment. Yeah.
Wait, what are you talking about? Why would it go to your mom?
My mom co-signed on the car.
But what would you give money to her and then she makes the rest or something?
Yeah. That was like our agreement.
How'd that go?
Not very well.
How long have you had this? When did you get the car?
In 2022, September.
So for 2 years you did it?
Yeah.
So
almost,
what is
barely
happening now?
I feel like we were behind like the whole time.
We're starting to get into the portion of the video where a lot of people seem like they don't care that much about this. The situation wasn't being taken seriously by her or her mother, it sounds like. Just give me about $100 a month, I'll co-sign it for you, and eventually the repo man shows up. Sounded like they were behind immediately, could not afford it whatsoever, but being so nonchalant about this is a lot more common than I thought. We have another comment from you guys here. I had a coworker that called buying a new BMW a long-term rental. He would buy a new BMW, drive it like he stole it until it was repoed, then buy a new one. He did this 3 times in the year I worked with him. When I asked what his long-term plans were, he said that he would buy a final car and then file for bankruptcy, as if they would let him expunge the loan and keep the car. The last I heard from him, he was complaining that he had $200,000 in debt and that he was having trouble getting put on his bankruptcy filing. Absolutely insane to me. Sounds pretty nuts to me as well, but we're gonna have a little flashback to an older video with this clip because I think it goes very well.
Don't be scared of that repo. Repos don't mean shit. I've had 3 repos. They'll finance you every single time, babe. That shit is not real. That is a matrix setup. They make you think that all these things are inaccessible if this stuff happens, but it's not true. Get that car, make the payment until you can't anymore, let them take it, stock up for 6 months, take a bus, go buy another car. Just like that. Just like that.
Yeah, my uncle subscribes to this method. Car after car, repo after repo. And someone's always there to just keep financing new cars for him though. The bill collectors are calling me and other family members. Like, why do you have my phone number? I'm not part of this. So now you're not only destroying your own life financially, you're impacting your family members as well. She currently owes $63,000 on a 95-month loan for a 1995 Altima with 218 miles. You go, girl. They will absolutely fully finance you, but you do get punished with an insane interest rate. Another comment here, I'm old enough to remember when banks wouldn't give you a loan if they knew you couldn't afford it. Gone are the days that's the case. We have another screenshot right here. I'm officially reunited with my repossessed car. We'll go over to the description. Just $27,000 later. Huge shout out to my parents for making this possible. Words can't explain how thankful I am, and that this was the world's biggest learning lesson. I will never be in this position again. However, you go over to the comments, how late were you on the payments? A couple months with an emoji. Doesn't seem like she's actually this serious about it, just joking with one of these users. And her getting bailed out almost $30,000 from her parents? I highly doubt that she learned anything. I kind of know that the $4 in my bank isn't stopping my car from getting repossessed, so I'm treating myself for my birthday. Just a series of great financial decisions. Me, literally just a girl, getting my car repossessed. Why am I not surprised that the I'm just a girl trend is still going around on TikTok, on social media? It's been years and people still use that excuse. We got a couple of crazy clips here. Owed $3,000 on a car, now $7,000 for the fender, toe, and radiator as they ripped the car off of the tow truck. I mean, there's another one here, early morning shenanigans with a GMC pickup truck that they pushed off the tow, definitely doing some damage as well. Also adding on to the fact that people are recording this. You could be recorded at any time. Everybody's got a 4K iPhone in their pocket now. So now there's proof of you doing this online forever. I mean, here's another example right here.
Lady, I wouldn't do that.
So you guys are probably wondering what the hell's going on here, right? So I do repos and recoveries for this hire company. This car's been hired, the account's been flagged as fraudulent due to maybe a credit card or something. So I go out there, she's been sat there for like an hour according to the GPS tracker. So I go and I wait for my friend to turn up. She's already changed the number plates on the car, which is another red flag. So anyway, my friend turns up, I box her in with my car, and I tap on the window. I'm like, hey, you know, please wind the window down. I was super polite to her. Anyway, she refused to wind the window down, and then she did what you saw in the video. She went to put it in reverse, but you could see my bull bar behind her, and then she just sent it and took out the doors, the chairs, everything, nearly hit my friend. So she off. Anyway, GPS is still updating, so we followed her up to somewhere north in a residential area.
And that's kind of all you need to hear for the rest of the story. She tried to get away a few more times, but the car has GPS tracking on it. You cannot get away. On top of now having video proof of you committing even more crimes, the police were called, she got arrested, and probably even more trouble than just giving up the car in the first place. Here we have another clip showing that you need to read the terms of service when signing up for these loan payments, because somebody got repossessed even though they were making their payments all on time.
Someone on TikTok said that her car got repoed even though she made all on-time payments. Now when she said that, in my head I'm like, how is that even possible? Like, you're literally fulfilling your loan, you're making your payments every single month. Out of curiosity, I asked her if she still had insurance on her car, and she said yes. So if she's making her on-time payments and she has full coverage insurance on the car, what's the issue? So it turns out that she was letting her car get rented on Turo. If you guys don't know what Turo is a platform where you can put your car on there and other people can rent it so you can make some money. Now, in her finance contract, when she originally got the car, there's a clause that says that you have to use the car for personal use, not business use. It also went on to say that the car could not be rented out. Somehow, some way, her lien holder found out that she was letting her car get rented out. Now, I had no idea this could even happen. I didn't think that Turo or the lien holder would go that far to try and figure out who's doing what with what car. And that's because there's simply just too many cars on the road to even keep track of all that. But nevertheless, her car ended up getting repoed because of this.
100% an insurance claim was filed, and that's how they found out. It's not their business what they do with your car, but a reply makes a very good point. It's not her car though, it's still the bank's. Yeah, you're making the payments on time, but you have not paid in full yet. You do not own the vehicle yet, you're just using it. What if her insurance reported her? Another comment talking about that. I know Turo when renting out vehicles isn't nearly as popular as it was a couple years ago, especially during COVID, but we could go over to the next example of probably one of the worst case scenarios when we're talking about building a rental empire, a fleet, like a lot of the gurus were trying to push.
And just like that, your girl got a job. So come with me to get a car so I can get to that job. I had two major goals in mind. One, get something reliable. Two, get something that's under $30,000. To make matters worse, my freaking interest rate was so high because I did have 15 repossessions due to my Turo business. So then I decided, okay, dealerships suck. Cash cars kind of suck. What should I do? I'm not gonna lie, and y'all gonna hate this, but your girl went to Carvana. No dealership fees. You shop online. It's no pressure. It's nobody pulling your credit 500 times. I wish I would have started here, but I heard so many bad things. I know. However, this is a 2024 Toyota and it only had 8,000 miles on it.
So it sounds like that Turo business did not go over well. 15 repossessions. I can't even imagine the interest rate. And then going over to Carvana, I have heard a ton of horror stories. You're just swiping on an app, the car seems fine, and then as soon as you get it, it's actually junk. It's pretty widely known that a lot of people will offload their car to Carvana because they actually give you a pretty decent amount of money, but the people buying off of the app usually get the short end of the stick. Hopefully that's not the case with this one. At least it's a Corolla, probably one of the most reliable vehicles you could get. But we could go over to the comments. How'd you put 0 down with 15 repos? And she replies, God. I don't think God had anything to do with it. I bet your payments and interest rate must be unreal though. 15 repos? Carvana is so much more expensive to me, but the concept is cool. I agree with that as well. If it actually worked, you could legitimately take dealers out of the equation. I've just heard way too many horror stories. Yes, she said 15 due to her Turo business. Carvana APR is at 24%. LOL, no thank you. That's definitely the highest amount of repos I've ever heard anybody say. But let's finish off this video with this outlandish clip.
So I'm sitting here reading the comments, and a lot of y'all are wondering how I got my car repoed and why I owed $11,000 on my. Okay, so when I got the car, my credit was only a 250. So I got an APR that was 79%. I signed a 365 month lease on the car, well, finance on the car. So that put my car payments at a little bit over $2,700.
Okay, so we'll cut the video here. It's clearly bait. You legitimately can't get a credit score that low. But to be honest, we've seen stories that had similar situations, as crazy as that sounds. You can't get that type of APR if you go to a normal dealership, you know, Ford, Toyota, something like that. However, if you go to some of the buy here, pay here lots, maybe the shady payday loan companies. I remember we saw a clip of somebody who had either a Dodge Magnum or a Charger, I can't remember. But they gave up the car because they had 120% interest rate on the vehicle, just something that should have honestly been illegal. And the term lengths for all of these loans just keep getting longer and longer. It used to be 60 to 72, now we're seeing 84, 96, the 15-year car loan apparently, and some people are willingly paying thousands, literally 2,000 plus, to be able to drive around in a nice new Mercedes. So even though this clip was completely ridiculous, it's not that far out of the realm of possibilities. But that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.